Stop what you're doing for a second. Imagine this. You're gliding effortlessly down a motorway at sunset, silence around you, yet underfoot there's extraordinary force waiting to be unleashed. That's the kind of experience I want you to picture before you even see the 2026 Tesla Model Y. Stay with me till the end. I'll drop pricing, performance figures that will surprise you, and a few hidden features Tesla quietly updating. If you love EVs or are just curious what the hype is about, this script is for you, for viewers in the UK, the US, or anywhere in between. What Tesla has done with the 2026 Model Y is that rare balance. Evolutionary, not revolutionary, but in ways you'll feel. Let me open with a question. How much would you pay for a practical SUV that accelerates like a sports car, charges rapidly, handles daily errands with ease, and still turns heads? That's the promise. And as we peel back each layer, you're going to see whether Tesla delivered or just polished the same package. First, a glimpse at what's new. The 2026 refresh, internally known as Juniper, brings updated styling cues. You'll spot a full-width LED light bar across the front, sleeker narrow headlights, a sharper nose, and more refined rear light treatment. Tesla has also refined aerodynamics, new wheels, revised diffuser, reduced drag, all to squeeze more efficiency out of the same bones. On the inside, don't expect a luxury makeover, but Tesla has improved materials, added more sound deadening, given ventilated front seats, and even added a small rear seat display for passengers. So your ride will feel quieter, more refined, without abandoning Tesla's minimalist philosophy. Now, performance, the heart of what many of you are here for. The specs are exciting. For the base-ish configurations, you get a rear-wheel drive RWD long-range version that pushes around 357 miles of EPA estimated range. Acceleration from 0 to 60 miles per hour is quoted at 5.4 seconds for that RWD long-range model. Step up to the all-wheel drive AWD dual-motor version, and you get 327 miles of range with 0 to 60 in about 4.6 seconds. Now, here's the spicy one. The performance variant recently officially launched in the US cranks that down to 3.3 seconds from 0 to 60 miles per hour and hits a top speed of 155 miles per hour, roughly 250 kilometers per hour, a serious leap when you think of an SUV doing that. That said, the performance version sacrifices some range. EPA cites around 308 miles for that model, in return for the speed. In real-world driving, testers have found the 2026 Model Y handles better, rides more pleasantly, and feels more mature. The updates to chassis, suspension, and noise insulation make long journeys less tiring. One reviewer noted that Tesla trimmed road and wind noise by about 20% compared to the outgoing model. Charging is still strong. In real tests, the RWD version managed 13.8 kWh per 100 km in mixed use, and on a V3 supercharger 250 kW class, charging from 14% up to 80% took around 24 minutes. That suggests the 2026 remains competitive in fast charge usability, which is key for long-distance users. The exterior and interior parts all keep short because the magic is in the drive. But to gloss, the exterior is sharper, more refined, with new lighting signatures and aerodynamic tweaks. The interior is improved, nicer materials, better sound insulation, added features, but the layout remains ultra-minimal. Central screen controls almost everything, the cabin is open, and Tesla's characteristic absence of physical buttons persists. Rear seat comfort is better, build quality feels more solid, and many of the complaints about earlier Tesla's rattles, squeaks, seem less frequent in early reviews. Now for the part many of you are waiting for. Price. In the US, the base long-range RWD version starts at $44,990 before destination and before tax incentives. The AWD long-range version commands a bit more, by thousands depending on specs. The performance model recently launched in the US is priced at $59,130. For Europe, Tesla introduced a cheaper, standard, variant in some markets, with pricing in Europe starting around €39,990 in several countries. In the UK, Tesla lists the Model Y performance version at £61,990 as of recent listings. And more broadly, in the UK the Model Y's RRP spans between £44,990 and £61,990 depending on trim and options. So for UK viewers, expect base versions in the £45,000 ballpark, and top-spec models crossing into the £60,000 plus territory. For a US audience, the mid-$40,000 to $60,000 range is your reference, plus any local incentives. An important caveat: tariffs, import duties, local taxes, and EV incentives will alter those numbers if Tesla introduces new versions or delivers locally. So what does all this mean for you, my audience in the UK and US? First, the 2026 Model Y is positioning itself not just as an EV breakout hit, but as a matured, polished all-rounder. It's not just about speed or range. Tesla is making incremental refinements that matter. Quieter rides, better materials, subtle styling upgrades. It's the kind of upgrade that feels like upgrade, not just a refresh. If I were you and I was considering a 2026 Model Y, here's how I'd think. A long-range AWD version gives you strong acceleration, all-weather confidence, and excellent everyday usability. If you lean into performance, that 3.3-second version is eye-opening, but you'll pay for it in every dimension: price, range, tires, cost. The base versions, though, remain very compelling value for what you get in the EV ecosystem, especially with Tesla's charging network. To keep engagement high in your video, ask your viewers, which version would you pick? Better range or better speed? Would you spend for performance or settle for long range? And remind them that you'll keep the specs updated. As Tesla confirms more variants or regional pricing, you'll return with breakdowns. One last thought: competition is heating up. Other EVs are pushing faster charging, bold features, more customization. Tesla can't rest on past success. But with the 2026 Model Y, they're showing they still know how to sharpen what's already working. For a lot of buyers, this is likely the safest bet in the crossover EV class for now. So that's your 2026 Tesla Model Y preview: stylish, fast, smart, and more refined than ever. If you want, I can also produce a voiceover-ready version, or segment it into 3 to 4 parts for your video cuts. Do you want me to polish it further, or convert this into a shorter, YouTube intro script?